What's going on YouTube? I know it's been a long time since I've talked to you guys and you might recognize where we're at. We are at Hyperfest 2025 and it feels pretty crazy to say this, but the car is done. I know I've kind of sucked at making videos lately about the progress, but we're at Hyperfest and so now I figured I kind of have to make one here. The car's here, it looks good, and it drives really good, and I'm excited to shred this thing this weekend. As far as YouTube videos for the building process, you guys can let me know if you think maybe like a mega video of just everything that I have of getting the car ready until this point would be cool, just throwing that all together and having something for it. But for now, the car is here. We got it resprayed in a new color and it looks completely different. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's see how this thing looks in 3, 2, yeah, so I lied, it's the exact same, almost. The blue is a different color, technically. It's a little bit of a different shade of blue, and with a primer, we went with black instead of a white primer. We were going for something that was a little darker, and you can kinda see the point. Mainly this thing just looks way better in my opinion because we paid a lot more attention to detail with just panels fitting nicely. Tried to get all these body lines up here nice and tight, how they should be. And as well as simple things like instead of having our hood vents bolted on here or riveted onto the top, we molded it into the hood, and we did the same thing molding the headlights into place, which is another thing I'm in love with because these things, instead of being way up, they're way more of an aggressive sleepy eye, and big fan of that. And then come around to the rear of the car, the new 2F is looking super, super pretty. For now, this thing's just kind of a slick back. You know, before we had the little duckbill, and for this year we have bigger plans, but I'm not going to go any more detail than that. This stuff looks great though. It came out awesome. The lines are sweet in this thing. Luckily, the way that we have it, it's not like covered in bolts everywhere. You see some people do that. We might add a couple in the future just for like a rigidity, but just for having it ready for this weekend, figured what we have will do. But super happy with this thing. We got it all in one piece, and this thing should be a monster to drive at VIR. If you watched my video last year, you know this track is dummy fast, and I can go ahead and put a clip here of my entry last year. And in last year's Hyperfest, I was already pushing triple digits. I don't know an exact speed because my GoPro at the time didn't have GPS speed, but this year I do. And you know, I'm curious to see by how much I beat my previous record. So today is Thursday. Hyperfest technically doesn't start until tomorrow, but we always like getting here a little early, just having time to set up and get relaxed. For the rest of the night, we'll just be hanging out, sitting around and watching all of our homies show up, be hanging out until tomorrow, and that's when the driving starts, so I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Other than that, we're here to have fun. Just please listen to us, listen to the staff, and we'll have a good weekend. First things first for this area.
Good morning, Hyperfest. We're here and it is officially day one of the 3-day weekend where we just get to party and drift and just, I don't know, live a movie all weekend long. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't one of my favorite weekends of the year. I am, no pun intended, I am hyped to be back here and I'm looking forward to a great time. Jumping right into it, I want to try to get more behind the scenes stuff because my video last year was heavily driving focused and not so much what we were doing behind the scenes. This event, one of the best parts about it, while the driving is cool, one of my favorite things about this event is the amount of fun that we get to have off of the track. It's a constant party. Tonight there's a big concert going on. It's called the Emo Concert. Tomorrow night is Club Hyperfest where everybody gets in the club and goes crazy. And of course, all the friends are here. Zach and Kira are here. All of our other friends are here, and it should be an amazing weekend. But without further ado, we're getting ready to take this old hot ride out in the Patriot course and see how it feels. I'm not 100% sure about my gear ratio. I don't really know if that's going to be perfect for this track yet. That's one thing I have to go out there and find out. But regardless, should be exciting. New power level, new everything. Hopefully it feels good. Let's go. So I'm going to be trying to mix up some angles this year. I have 2 GoPros and I thought I brought both of them, but it turns out I only have the one. So I'm just going to be making do with what I got. I already have a bunch of angles set up for you guys, so I'm just gonna be kind of moving you around the car a little bit as the days go on. Try to capture as many angles as I can, keep it entertaining so you're not just watching the same thing over and over again with a bunch of helmet cam videos. But starting you guys off back there, gets you a good view of what I'm doing in the cockpit as well as still seeing out the front of the car. Should be pretty sweet, getting everything geared up right now and then head out on track. Change though because the wheel speed feels very long. Initial reactions though, this thing is sick. I was able to park it with the angle right there, which I've never really felt before. Usually you see all the guys with big power, they'll get to that first turn facing the crowd and just jump on the angle. And it felt pretty great to be able to do that myself. Also, I'm not used to a car that's aligned. I'm trying to overdrive the car, and it's like I just got to step back a little bit. So right off the rip, the car is feeling awesome. It's driving really, really nicely. But something about it was unhappy. At first, I was thinking maybe it was that I had too high of a wheel speed, but now I'm thinking that maybe it's just because I had a little too much grip. I was fighting trying to get the car into the power band and keep it there. And my problem there is I'm thinking the fact that I'm running the Zek Nova tires and even the 300 tread wears, these things are spicy tires. They got some sauce in them. And I was running at about 20 PSI cold and just going this fast with this much wheel speed, I was fighting it a little bit. It was holding me back a little. So I added some clicks to my suspension and I'm gonna try to go a little bit higher on the cold PSI, just try to get the car afloat a little more just because since it's not a competition or anything, it's more of like a demo event. Nobody out here is really trying to get down a boogie too much, so just try to get the car to float a little better, get it to be feeling a little happier, and should be money. All right, so we aired up a ton. Wheel speed might be okay, it just might be that I surely have too much grip. We went really aggressive on the alignment and have a pretty grippy tire out the back, so try to air them way up, see if I can't get this to work. If not, we're gonna try the gear change. Too spicy. happened out the front end. No idea what that is. I don't know if it's the rain or what, but that did feel a lot better. Almost died on the entry. That got real spicy, real quick. Was that mine? Okay.
Was it the same one?
What happened?
So no bullshit, you came down the hill and this was under the fucking car.
Oh.
Like, the whole thing was fucking flying in the air.
I saw it come up.
Yeah. No, dude, it was legit like waving as you hooked that shit.
Hey, I got another air vent.
Maximum airage. But yeah, this thing I guess is
Just let go.
yeah. You're back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little fucked up.
Get comfy in this old girl. Car's starting to feel a lot better now. This morning, as you guys probably heard me saying, it was way too gripped up and it was just super hard to drive. But now I've aired my tires up to the moon. Like I mentioned, I'm on the Zec Novas, so they just got too much sauce in them. I would say like 20 PSI, and now I'm going up to about 40 or 42 cold, and car feels dialed in. Been driving by myself mainly this whole day, but hopefully I can start getting some tandem practice, hop behind some people, and maybe chase some of the friends. But right now, not even doing too bad on tires, honestly. I've gone 2 sets I've killed, and I've got a whole nother one today, a whole nother set, and I've got 18 total for the weekend, so not doing too bad. So, right now we're taking some tires over to the tire machine. Race Treads, as always, is hooking us up, doing some tire changes for the weekend, gonna help us out with these things. And instead of making multiple trips, we're men, and we did it all in one trip. We loaded up 4 drag slicks in the back, and then got the freshies up top. I'm over here on tire duty, making sure none of these things go flying, like about now, in case we have any moments of emergency stopping. So far, so good. You know, it's always crazy. Hyperfest is a massive, massive, massive event, and it brings out probably hundreds of thousands of people to VIR. And you see anything, any type of motorsport, from drifting, obviously, to racing on the actual track, to off-roading, to show cars. Everything you could ever think of is here. So I always forget, you know, I get tunnel visioned on the drifting side of things, but I forget how cool of an event this is and how much stuff there really is to do. VIR, if you don't know, is a massive road course. Pretty much all of Hyperfest takes place on the inside of the road course. Over here you got all of this stuff. As we get closer to Race Treads, you see we're in the NASA, I guess you could say, the actual race car paddock. These guys probably think we're showing up like a bunch of lame-os, but yeah, this event is super cool. So far, it's been a great time, and barely even getting started. Camber wear earlier wasn't the greatest. I was wearing a little bit more on the positive camber side, but made some adjustments, and these things a little better. I'm still a little more on the positive side, but it's flat enough to where I feel like we're good leaving it alone. So go ahead and leave these things over here. Race Treads boys will do their work, and they'll come to get them back later. This is literally one of my favorite parts about Hyperfest. Don't mind my hair. Wind is never nice to me, but hey, cruising around on a little moped or anything on 2 wheels, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. I said this would be a great time for me to like drop this thing. I'd get a sweet angle of it. It'd end up on some like fails YouTube video. So like I was saying earlier, they do a little bit of everything here. we're at the skid pad right now. About to watch something. We got some like Baja dune buggies that are about to come rip the track, I guess. And I see some ramps over there. Might hit them, maybe. I don't know. Looks pretty cool. If my camera dies, I'm gonna be big sad. My GoPro is not very alive. I'm at 10%. Ooh. Woo! Good. Okay. Phew! God. That is sick. That's cool. That dude's like 30 feet in the air. Per Hyperfest tradition, facing some difficult weather. This is chaos. Everybody's swarming. This is about to get rough. Stuff's going flying everywhere. I've already seen canopies going flying. One there. Oh my God. I mean, hey, the show I just watched was cool, but this is not this is high speed winds. This is rough. Rip the Haltech canopy. Rip the cars under it. Hopefully everything there is okay. I'd suck the damage from cars with it. Everybody over there is trying to hold her down. Yo. All right, time to get back to the car. See y'all later. Hey, I gotta capture everything. It wouldn't be Hyperfest without this.
Oh God. It almost went up.
Oh yeah, I felt it. So winds of mile an hours that I don't know, but pretty high up there. And everybody's swarming, trying to keep their tents on the ground. We got all hands on deck on ours. And ours is getting picked up by the wind. I should probably go focus on that. What do you think about this moment, Kira? You hate this? I think it's pretty fun, but at the same time, I'm an adrenaline junkie who likes dumb stuff.
Oh, the bounce house is flying away.
No way! Oh, the bounce house! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh no! The children! Oh, those poor kids!
Little Timmy.
Little Timmy! Oh my God. What do you put on the gravestone for that? Little Timmy swept away in flying bounce house.
That's it. Poor little boy.
All right, well, I'll let you guys know if I survive.
The next day.
Good morning, everybody. It is day 2, Saturday, and yes, we lived last night. The weather called for basically a clear weekend. There wasn't really much of a chance of anything, but you know, it's like a Hyperfest standard at this point. If you've been to several Hyperfests, you know that it's not Hyperfest without some sort of massive storm just sweep through, tear everything down, and freak everybody out. And then the next morning is always nice and wet, nice and dreary. I don't know if that's a good word for it, but you know, Hyperfest stuff. So we got some work to do in the car today. I partied too hard on Patriot yesterday and debeated a tire. So tore the rim up, but be all right. We got to switch those tires. I'm going to do a gear change because I talked with Freddie with Spec-Tune and he said that my wheel speed is probably a touch too high and it might be fighting me. So turns out my instinct yesterday was right. But overall, the car, you know, the car from driving yesterday, almost unfazed, almost untouched. Still all in one piece, still looks pretty good. When I folded my bumper in yesterday, that kind of put a hole in my KVD, which I'm impressed. But from a 10-foot gap, this thing looks pretty good. Rain's normal, and of course it left its mark on the track. It's gonna be a little slippery today, so maybe it won't go through as many tires, but you know, we'll see. Play it by ear. For now, I gotta get the car out, get some stuff fixed up from yesterday. I'd say fixed up, change the tires and do the gear change, and should be ready to rock and roll. So still fairly wet outside, but the rain finally stopped coming down, so hopefully it should dry out eventually. Got some fresh rubber on the old girl and did my gear change, so the car should be a little bit happier feeling today. Getting ready to go out for the first session. Hopefully everything goes well. The track's, well, I was gonna say the track looks wet still, but I just saw somebody smoke the crap out of the track, so it might be drier than I thought. just went out for my first session. I thought the track would be wet, but absolutely not. There's a couple spots where it's like a little patchy, but nothing too bad. Car feels awesome. Not exactly sure if I'm gonna be able to get used to this pro car life because all of this is new. This car was freshly painted Wednesday night, and now it's basically black on the back of the car. And these tires also have like 3 laps on them, and now they're almost done. So it's tough, especially with a road course. This is nuts. Back on tire duty. Just made another stop by Race Treads, dropped off some old burn ones off of the 240, and now we got all the scrubs in the land that we're gonna be able to get some more laps out of and have some more tires than I originally brought. For now, I'm making it the voyage back to the 240 with our newly found babies and trying not to lose any of them. Well, not too bad of a haul if I say so myself. Kept all of them on the way over here. Got some crazy looks, but whatever, it's Hyperfest. You gotta do funny stuff.
What's up, everybody? I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to hear me. The audio might not be the greatest because my microphone died, and you know, I just figured I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of recording today, so hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Last night was Saturday, Sunday morning now, and that means that we are done with drifting on the Patriot course. Last night was wild. I tried to take a few videos and stuff. We were partying all night. We went to bed at like 2:30. It was fun. They had a blast. My allergies slaughtered me, so I wasn't really able to do a whole lot of vlogging or talking or anything because, yeah, I wasn't feeling the greatest, but I was still able to party, have a great time with everybody. I got a few videos of it, and now we're heading over to the skid pad. We're gonna be doing some drifting today over here. Not a whole lot. Trying not to get too crazy or mess anything up now that we made it through the toughest part of the weekend. I drifted on Patriot all weekend, and the car's still in one piece, so in my book, that's a victory. Now to just have a fun time on the skid pad today, do some small stuff, and, you know, maybe put a smile on some people's faces, entertain the crowd that's still here, and then once we're done, we'll be packing up, heading home, getting out of here. Look at that reflection, ain't she beautiful? It's so weird seeing this thing all in one color again. Since we put the livery on last year, I haven't seen the car looking like this, and it's a good look. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like it. And just like that, the weekend's about over, and I just got back from the skid pad, hanging out with this this old girl again. So sorry. I'm so sorry. The car did good. I didn't really film a whole lot today or last night. Like I said, last night I felt like death. And then this morning, or just today in general, it's just a pretty relaxed day. I didn't really do a whole lot of laps, and the laps that I did do was nothing really insane. I got a filmer now, so that's cool. Car did good though, kept her in one piece, had our fair share of close calls, but what's a drift event without it? It still looks good for the most part. Painted most of the back of the car black because of the amount of rubber that we burnt off. My God, it got worse. So as you can see, this car used to be blue, and this is all from today on a skid pad in second gear, and it's just, I feel like I did okay. I could have been better, but you know, nobody's perfect. I'm always my hardest critique on myself, but yeah. Got a lot of good feedback, had a lot of good times with a lot of good people.
Need more gas.
Need more gas. Car burns too much gas, it's too fuel inefficient. This thing gets like no miles to gallon. About to pack it up, about to head home. Hopefully I can make something cool out of this video. Hope you guys liked the video. If you made it this far into it, I appreciate you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Peace. I did drift games. I got first place in the Don't Spill the Monster challenge, and then they were doing like a drift limbo type of thing where they had two cones you had to drift between, they were gonna close the gap. Made it through the first one just fine, but then my tire looked like this after it, so had to call it quits. But yeah, as you can see, this thing likes to kill some rubber. And speaking of killing rubber, if we walk over here, this is a Tupperware full of rubber. This is one day of drifting on Patriot.
This was all yesterday. Gammy, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. This
is this
your
hers?
full container.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gammy. Anyways, a lot of rubber.
Done, done. We got some more tire delivery, and the day's over.
For my tires, we were supposed to have 12 delivered, and all of a sudden we got this mathematician stuff going on. What do you record? You record the fact that I'm tire boss, Talon, the tire tip man, and we're here.
You in the YouTube video?
We're gonna do like Jacob last year. Get it, kid?
Oh yeah,
it's
what
Jacob.
A weekend!
What a weekend! Oh my gosh!
So being tired.
Oh my goody goodness.
Why do we have all these extra tires? Because Zach's car's on to crack.
Crap, because it's an LS. It's not a straight 6.